Well, hey there, YouTube. It's Petey Two Finger, and this video I am proud to announce I am finished. Yesterday, I watched edit on the video which I had rendered down for this year's original music album drop. So in 1 week, exactly 7 days, we are going to do it right. Come and celebrate the tender moments of life with Petey Two Finger as I drop an album, Petey Two Fingers Tender Moments. Now, if you have any questions relating to the music or the video, please feel free to leave those questions in the comment, because I am going to return and I will do a summary video where I talk about the production of the album and the production of the video. And it would be great if I could answer some questions from you guys. So that's the favor that I'm asking you to do, would be join Petey Two Finger for Tender Moments on Valentine's Day. We're going to do it right. So that means get your bubbly, get your chalk hearts, your Valentines, your he loves me not, your chocolates, your however it is you celebrate that wonderful day in February. It's the longest gap in time of a holiday is between Christmas and Valentine's Day. And this is a tough time of year for people who live in these climate areas where we get snow. It's not a fun time of the year to go through a couple of months with not much sunshine, to have just gray skies, and it's snowy and slushy on the ground, and it's freezing cold outside. It's hard on your car. It's hard on your pocketbook if you're paying your heating bill. I've noticed it's hard on animals, that for some reason it seems like cats especially get sick or pass away in this time of the year. I think people do as well. It's just not a good time of year. That stretch in between Christmas and Valentine's Day. Now, once we get through Valentine's Day, we're not too far away from March. And once we're out of March, you can be sure that we're not going to have to worry about snow coming anymore. And once we're out of March is basically springtime is beginning. So it's just a little bit more that you need to hold in there before the weather starts getting nice again. People start maybe treating each other a little bit more friendly because it's nice out before it gets too unbearably humid. So I'm really excited about being finished with Tender Moments and hearing your guys' reaction, what you think about it. So it would absolutely thrill me if you could join me here as we celebrate Valentine's Day with Petey Two Fingers Tender Moments. Another thing that I finished is this little stack. Mind you, these are 8-inch speakers. This does not come up to my waist. Like if I go stand by this thing, the handle would be pretty close to my inseam. If you were measuring my inseam, so yeah, this picture, it looks like, oh yeah, that's a big Marshall stack or something, you know, like it's a big, it's not, it's small. These cabinets we got I think one was $499 and the other one was $250. Because this one was half price. And they are subwoofers for home audio. Now I removed the subwoofer speakers and we purchased Eminence bass guitar drivers, 8-inch bass speakers. I got a deal on them. They were on clearance or blowout, so we paid like $30. They were $29. And we built this amplifier, which has a 3-band EQ, so it's bass, mid-range, treble, gain for that preamplifier circuit that's in there. And then the master volume for the power amp. Stereo input, 2 channels, 2 speakers. And there's separate power switches, one for the preamp and one for the power amp. And then this T handle. So this is a battery amp, although you could run it off of a computer power supply, like if you had a 19 to 26 volt power supply that was like 5 amps or something, 10 amps. That would be ideal for this. Or you can just pop the batteries in the back. Now there's a separate pair of batteries, just run the preamp, and then the power amp runs off of its own set. Just 4 18650 batteries. I had a more powerful amp board in here. I had a bigger, like twice the power, and it was overpowered. So I decided to remove the original really ridiculously loud amp board and put in a smaller one because it's a battery amp. Overkill would mean you're burning up your batteries too quickly. So yeah, it's 50 by 2 is what it's rated for. It's probably more like about 30, I'm guessing. So it's 60 total. But these speakers really perform well. And then just the other day, while I was working on the video for the new album, which is called PD Two Fingers Tender Moments, I was rendering footage to use in the video for the album. I pre-render everything, and that way if I'm mixing and maxing different codecs, I run into crashes. But if I run everything through the system under the same codec and render it as the same type of footage with the same frame rate, the same dimensions, I find that to be the way to do it. Now, don't take my word for it. I'm a kook. I'm a goof. Ain't nobody got time for all that, especially when you're on your MacBook Pro. My Mac, I don't have to do that on my Mac. I bet you don't, because you probably have an iPhone, and it probably all uses the same codec in the first place. But not everyone does everything the same way. So while I found myself with some time to spare, I was snooping around, looking in places where people get rid of old guitar gear, and this thing came up, a Zoom B3, for free. So we ran downtown and grabbed it, and through that, I'd been filtering through a real lot of patches that people made for this device and finding what I like and what I don't like. There's 100 blank user patches for you to be able to edit, and I've got maybe half or 3/4 of it full of custom patches. And I have to say, it does really sound good. And I think the cab sims are good in it. So for an older multi-effector. Notice I didn't say piece of kit. What is it with people saying piece of kit or bit of kit? Let's not do that, okay? Even if you're from Wollongong or wherever they say that, let's not say that, okay? It's not a bit of kit. It's a multi-effector. And I was surprised because I didn't think it was going to sound as good as it did, but it really does sound phenomenal. So much that we had just bought a Boss GT1B, and I was like, man. But the Boss GT1B has the Terra Echo effect, which is a Boss delay that came out. I want to say maybe 2000 to 2010, somewhere in there it came out. And it's an unusual delay echo effect. And I like it a lot. So more than likely I'm not going to be getting rid of the Boss GT1B. Boss Terra Echo release date. Let's see. How wrong was Petey? Was it 2012? It was 2013. Yeah. One of the considerations was to split the bass, meaning I have a pedal and all it does is clone the signal actively. So it doesn't affect the bass or treble so much as it does just split the signal actively. So there's one input and two outputs. So that being said, we could run her bass into this pedal, the splitter, run one cable over to this, and run the other cable over to the Boss GT1B, which would run to our PA. So we would have the Terra Echo as the stereo effect on the PA, along with the PA is a 2.1, so there's a sub. So I don't know. I know there is. You can. There's ways to flip the phase, meaning I would want to try running this out of phase with the other effect. And here, what happens when you do that? When you're standing in the sweet spot in between this thing, I mean, is there a sweet spot with low end? Well, it's debatable. So that would be the only consideration for me, knowing the little bit that I know about audio. That would be perhaps you would want to try that and see, are you creating a problem of having some of this out of phase with the rest of it and canceling frequencies? So in order to determine that, it's one thing you could do. So that's my plans for this. I'm officially finished with it because I programmed this. We finally got the working 100-watt amp board in there after a couple of duds came in that had been damaged in shipping. So it was a bit of an escapade with that amplifier, but I'm happy to be done with that. And gee, am I overjoyed to be done with Petey Two Fingers Tender Moments. I can't wait for Valentine's Day this year. We're going to do it right. So make sure you tune in on this channel on Valentine's Day for Petey Two Fingers Tender Moments. Try to stay warm. It's chilly outside. Don't forget to hug your pets. That's the most important thing. And peace.